Okay, so the underlying energy, y'all, is the King of Swords. Y'all gonna be cutting some people up this week. Somebody's gonna be cutting somebody up. Somebody's just not having it. Alright, this is some very serious energy when the King of Swords comes up. This could be that you identify as someone that, as your partner or as your partner's person, which could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I get this feeling that this is you guys cutting people up this week. Just like saying, nope, this is my, oh gosh. And the reason why is because you're coming up, because you're laying down the foundation. You're feeling very committed, very stable. You are pretty much the Don Dada of the situation. The King of Pentacles, what else? Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles rather. Yeah, this is super committed. You are like the head of the household, king or queen, and you guys are feeling very stable. And you also know your truth this week as well. That's what I feel. Now the Kings, I always see as you guys because you guys are fixed signs. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So the King of Swords in your heart is in your underlying energy. Serious energy. Somebody's going to get cut this week, potentially. You're going to cut somebody. I don't see anybody cutting you. I see you cutting somebody else. The current state of the situation in your love life right now is there's a feeling of being trapped, not able to really see what's going on in front of you. Like there's some things that's going on, and I feel like it just feels very entrapping. Okay. There's a lot of stuff going on mentally. It can't be, it's hard to see when, your thoughts are kind of going crazy like that and making you feel like there's no other options. Like there's this feeling that there's no other options. You kind of feel like your back is pushed up against the wall at this point. That's what it kind of looks like. Now, where the destination of this relationship, of this love life wants to go towards, I feel like it has a lot to do with leaving this Four of Pentacles, or at least feeling like you're in a place of stability, but at the same time, understanding that there is some sort of purge. Because honestly, with the Four of Pentacles, this is feeling of kind of holding on to things that make you feel safe, that make you feel stable, and it may not exactly get you anywhere fast. All right, and as a matter of fact, it kind of stops any sort of manifestation from here on forward, especially when there's a lot of holding on. So there could be that somebody's clinging to you, or that you want to be set free from this clinginess. There could be that this is a situation in which there is a lot of holding on to comfort zones, and if there's a desire to get out of this situation, where there's a lot of being closed off and not being able to really feel like there's other options or the avenues, or just feel like you're trapped in a situation, it will potentially, most likely has a lot to do with the comfort zone. What makes someone feel comfortable. And the reason why I say that breaking free from this comfort zone is what is pretty much desired here, because of the King of Swords here. The King of Swords doesn't have a comfort zone. King of Swords has his truth, and he will slice and dice anybody that stands in his way from getting from what he wants, or standing in the way of threatening anything that he wants. He wants to feel stable. He wants to feel committed to. I feel like the relationship is bringing out a really strong amount of commitment out of the couples that either there's a couple here, or that this is somebody here that's dating. There could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that you're all dealing with, but I really feel like there's this down to earth feeling, with this feeling of being very grounded in this situation, or in the situation that you're in, or with the person that you're dealing with, or this person is providing some very grounded energy. But at the same time, if there's a little bit of, there's no passion, there's really no you in this. Because if I saw you, right, I would have saw the King of Wands. I see the King of Wands. So, with that being said, this feeling of being trapped, I feel like, has a lot to do with just breaking free from the comfort zone. And the reason why you haven't been, this comfort zone is here, and this feeling of being stuck, it hasn't been, busted out yet, has a lot to do with this Ace of Wands. I think and now typically the Ace of Wands doesn't just, it doesn't not happen, because then what's causing this situation to not be this way, and in a lot of ways, I feel like the Ace of Wands is honestly saying that it's not really taking advantage of the new beginning here. I'm not saying you guys are not. This could be someone else that's not taking advantage of the new beginning. But this Ace of Wands talks about something passionate, something new, something sparking, and it's because of something that was lost in the past, something that was that was lost, and it was devastating. Okay. The Two of Cups is here, though. It does indicate that there's still a relationship within this situation, but because of a certain loss, something that was lost very badly, I feel like the Four of Pentacles is what's keeping this person, or keeping somebody, sane in this relationship, sane in this situation. Even though it's really not, because this person is wanting to go out and purge, go out and feel like they, have new things to go for, or at least feel like there's something going on. But there's nothing really going on because this person potentially hasn't shifted their focus. So with that said, the new beginning is kind of on standstill. This exciting new beginning is on standstill. And I honestly, in a way, this person, whoever this is about, Leo, the new beginning has to be started. It has to be initiated by taking a risk, by going out of the comfort zone and making it happen. Now, the best path to follow is the Ace of Swords, which talks about utilizing the new perspective, utilizing, this new way of communicating, and, honestly, using your wits right now. This is a new beginning all around, and I feel like, well, not all around, actually, the Fool is a new beginning all around, but this is a very passionate new beginning, especially when it comes to dealing with an ex or dealing with somebody from the past, which I can see here. This is one of those cards, cause especially if there was something that was heartbreaking in the past, something that made somebody feel really depressed, especially if there was still something there, still a relationship, but still a connection, most importantly. But there is some new perspective to gain from this situation. There's something that can be learned from this situation, and it's going to require this person to see this as an opportunity or a learning period or learning experience, rather than something that was just lost, right? Because you do lose something, of course, but everything happens for a reason. Everything pushes us to our highest potential, and through our through our struggles and even our mistakes or failures, whatever you want to call those things actually help us to make, better relationships, better lives, stabler commitments, you know what I mean? So it's almost like this Ace of Swords is saying, utilize the situation, look at it very logically. That's what the King of Swords here. Look at it with a logical standpoint. I'm almost being Aquarius, but look at it for what it has offered you. Look at what look at the situation from what you've learned. Okay, and I'm not saying this is just you. I feel like this is the other person. The Ace of Swords is saying, utilize your new way of communicating, this truth. This is clarity here, and it can potentially break whatever this feeling is of feeling trapped in your situation. Now, in your feelings, you do feel like the world, okay? So this is not a bad energy. I really like this. This is like success and feeling good about where you've come from, where you've been pushing towards. You're successful in this cycle that you've completed. So this is a really good sign. I like that. I do get this feeling, though, that your hopes and fears that's coming up here is that you want to remain somewhat stable, somewhat grounded in your relationships. And you also want to feel comfortable, but you want to feel like you have actually reached some sort of goal. You not necessarily reached some sort of goal, but you want to be surrounded by your abundance. I don't know. I feel like the fear portion of this is that you may have to lose, your comfort zone to get what you want. To get, you may have to leave this precious garden that you've made, or someone else's garden, or someone else that's happy with being single. Like, that's the concern. Are they gonna want to be committed to me? Are they gonna want to to be in a relationship with you? You know what I mean? I think the fear could be that this person that you're dealing with may not want to be single, may want to stay single, maybe, or this person may you're hoping that this person will step outside the comfort zone and commit with you, potentially, Leo. This can go either way. So the outcome shows the Devil. Now, I'm not really upset about this card being in the outcome, because this does talk about feeling trapped in a relationship. But it does indicate that there is a need to find one's power, one's strength, in the relationship. They want strength in their abilities to execute certain things, certain tasks, right? You can do whatever you want to do, Leo. Even if the situation looks very, it doesn't look like it's got your back. It doesn't look like maybe that the situation is, it doesn't feel like the situation is really promoting you to be free. Because consider, like we were talking about, these two, the Eight of Swords and then and the Devil, they can go hand in hand. Like the thoughts can be overwhelming, and sometimes people may feel like they can't get out of a situation. But the Devil's saying, you can leave anytime you want to. I'm not going to keep you. It's the situation that you may be in that really dictate that, it's really how you see your situation and how you see yourself, most importantly. And the King of Swords, he's very confident in his ability to wield his sword and to push it out, not push it out there, but to wield his sword and speak his truth. He's all about the freedom that he has within, with himself and, his, freedom regarding others. But the point of it all is that nobody is going to bind the King of Swords. So this is you, like I was saying in the very beginning. This is you guys. I really feel like you guys are gonna cut somebody. You're gonna do some crazy stuff. Not some crazy stuff, but you guys are gonna take care of business. And the Devil card is saying, okay, yeah, this is a situation that may need to be taken care of. It may not be toxic. It may not be. Definitely may not be ideal, but the situation is that if you feel trapped, you will not, you will have to tap into your serious energy. That I'm not taking no ish sort of energy that you guys have, okay? Because you Leos have that energy. King of Wands don't take no mess either, but I think the King of Swords is coming up because you're going to be slicing somebody, okay? But the whole point of it all is that you may feel trapped and you're not feeling that being backed into a corner kind of mess. All right, you don't want to be feeling vulnerable, and I feel like you want to feel strong. You want to feel like you've got some you want to just show that you're not someone to mess with. That's what I feel like, Leo. Wow, Leo. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your whispers of love. What do they have to say for this week? Hopefully it's a caution for everybody else. Oh, wow. Okay, and it says, appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow in love. That's so true. That's the Five of Cups and the Ace of Swords there that we were just talking about. And it's kind of hard to appreciate a moment of loss, but the thing here is looking at what you can gain from that loss. Okay, you always gain from something that happens, even if it seems and feels disfortunate. You know what I'm saying? It feels unfortunate because you have something valuable that no one can take away from you, which is knowledge, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at your Wisdom of the Oracle. Wow, okay, well, if they were meant to come out, then they'll come out again. Yeah. Let's shuffle for real, though. Okay. Whoa. Alright. And the card that y'all have for your Wisdom of the Oracle is Never Ending Story. Oof. And Never Ending Story talks about, feels like the situation just doesn't stop. It's never ending, obviously, right? It just keeps going and keeps happening, and keeps happening, and keeps happening. I don't know if you guys have been dealing with somebody lately that's been really difficult to handle. But look at that. This is also the Whispers of Love. Is the number of this card is 33, and this is 37. But you guys could be dealing with some individuals that are just really difficult to deal with. Okay, and they make you feel like they're not trying to expand, or they're just keeping you, they're holding you back in a way. Yeah, Speaking your truth is going to definitely be important here, but knowledge is king this week. Knowledge is king, especially with this eclipse. All right, you always lose something with the full moon, I believe, right? So, you lose something with the full moon, and you gain something with the new moon. So something that has to be something is may be lost in the process of that eclipse, but it's ultimately going to show you your strength and your truth, and strength in your relationships, right? Show you who you truly are in a relationship.